Do you want to learn how to implement phone number authentication in your mobile apps and phone number verification with a one-time PIN? Well, you have come to the right place. This is a step-by-step guide using our favorite no-code tools, FlutterFlow and Supabase. Just sit back, grab your laptop, and enjoy the ride. By the end of this video, I guarantee that you'll have phone number authentication and verification working in your app. Alright, so over here is the base FlutterFlow project, which you can clone from the video description down below. So it consists of a home page, a login page, a register page, as well as a verify page where the user is able to enter the token that they received from their SMS, confirm the token, and also resend the token to their phone number if they wish to do so. Alright, so if you go over to the top right hand corner over here, you should see that you have some errors, and this is because we have not linked our Supabase project to our FlutterFlow project just yet. So let's quickly do that now. You can go to settings and integrations over here, scroll down to integrations, and under Supabase, we will need a Supabase project. This is just a base Supabase project that I've set up, and you can find the API keys under project settings and API under configuration over here. You can copy the project URL and paste it under the API URL, and the anon public anon key will be pasted over here. You can press get schema, and you should see that now both of the errors are gone. So the next thing that we have to do is that we have to add some custom code in order to allow the user to sign in with their phone number. So we can go under custom code here, and we have to add some custom actions. But don't worry, you can go down to the video description, and I've put a link to my GitHub over here which contains all the custom code, all the custom actions that you need in order to implement phone verification and phone sign up and sign in FlutterFlow with Supabase. So we can go to the first file over here, the confirm OTP.dot file, and what we'll do is we'll copy all of this, we'll add a new action, and we'll just paste it right inside here. For the action name, we also have to rename it to confirm OTP. Make sure that the action name over here is exactly the same as the function name over here. Now we can just press save action, and we can do the same thing for the other two actions as well. So this will be the sign in with phone action. And the last action is the sign up with phone action. And don't forget to rename your action, if not, it will not save. Alright, so now that we have all the actions over here, I'll just quickly run through what each action does. Firstly, I'll run through the sign up with phone action. So over here, we'll take in two parameters, which are the phone number of the user as well as the password of the user. And this line is basically instantiating our Supabase client so that we have access to the Supabase functions. Next, these lines of code over here is just calling the Supabase client and calling the sign in with password function, which takes in two arguments as well, the phone and password, which we have passed in through the function arguments over here. So if all goes well and there are no errors returned, we'll just return null. But if there are any errors which occur when trying to sign in the user, we'll just return the error message so that we can display it to the user later in our app. So that's the sign in with phone function. Next will be the sign up with phone action. So this action, since we're creating a new user, we want to add an additional parameter, which is to the confirm password parameter. So the first check over here is an if statement to check if the passwords that the user enters matches. Next, we once again want to instantiate the Supabase client, And over here, we are calling the Supabase signup function to help us sign up our user using the phone and password fields. Once more, if there are no errors, we'll just return null for the error. And if there are any errors, we'll just return the errors in order to display it to the user. So that's the sign up with phone action done as well. Lastly is the confirm OTP action. And this action basically checks if the OTP that the user entered is the same as the OTP that was sent to the user. So this action actually takes in two arguments as well. Firstly is the token which the user enters, and next is the phone number of the user. We also have to instantiate the Supabase client once more. And over here, what this action does is that it verifies if the OTP which the user enters matches the one which was sent to the user. And this supabase.auth.verify OTP function has a type argument over here. So this type depends on the event that you're calling. In our case, it will be SMS, so it's OTP type.sms. Then over here, it returns true if the session is not null, i.e. the user has signed in. And once again, we want to print any errors in the console for debugging purposes and return false if the user has not been able to verify their OTP correctly. So that about wraps it up for all the custom actions and the explanations for the custom actions needed. So firstly, let's go into our login page and we'll add the sign in function. So we can open the action flow editor and we'll search for our custom action of sign in with phone. And this custom action takes in two arguments, if you remember, the phone as well as the password. So that's pretty simple. It will just be under widget state and it'll be the phone number text field. And for the password, it'll be under widget state as well, and it'll be the password text field. If you can recall, this custom action also returns an error if any. So for the action output variable name, we'll just name it as error. Now we want to add a conditional action, and we'll add a single condition. And we want to check if error is null or not. So for the first value over here, we'll select action outputs, and we'll select error. And instead of equal to, we want to select is not set or is empty. So if the error is empty, i.e. the error is null, it will go to this left-hand branch over here. And if the error is null, that means the user has been successfully signed in. So what we want to do is we want to navigate to our home page. However, if any errors were returned, we want to display it to the user. So we can add a new action and search for informational dialog. For the title, we can just give it error with signing in. And for the value of the message over here, we'll just give it the action output, error action output. Alright, so that's it for the sign in page. Now we can go over to our register page and we'll open the action flow editor for the create account button. And now let's add a new action and we'll search for custom actions and we'll choose the sign up with phone custom action. And you'll see that the workflow for the register page is actually very similar to the login page. So we have to pass in these three arguments. First, the phone will be widget state, phone number text field. For the password, it will be under widget state as well, and it will be the password text field. And last but not least, the confirm password text field. Similar to the sign in with phone custom action, it also returns an error if any. So we'll just name this as error. Now we also want to add a conditional and add a single condition. And we want to choose action outputs error is not set or is empty. So just like the previous login page, if there was no error, that means the user has successfully signed in. And now we want to navigate our user to the verify page over here. However, if there was any error, we also want to inform the user of the error, so we can once more give the user an informational dialog. Error with creating new user. For the message, we can once again give it the action output and we can give it the error message. Alright, so that's it for the register page, and one final page that we have to do is the verify page over here. So for this verify page, we can first work on the confirm OTP button. So we can add a new action, and for this first action we want to select our custom action of confirm OTP. You can see that we need certain fields over here. We first need the token, which we can get from our widget state, and it'll be the PIN code, whatever the user enters into the PIN code over here. Now we also need the phone number of the user, but we do not have access to the user's phone number from this verify page. So what we have to do is that we have to go to the verify page top layer over here, and we have to pass the user's phone number through a page parameter over here. So we can add a new page parameter, and we can name this phone number. It will be of type string, and it will be a required parameter. And now you can see that we have some errors over here. We can focus on the passing parameters error, and this is because a required parameter phone number is not set from our previous register page. So if we click on that, you can see that in our navigate to verify page action, we can now pass a parameter, which is our newly defined phone number parameter. So for this value, it will just be our widget state, and it will be the value from our phone number text field over here. And now we can go back to our verify page, confirm OTP button, and now we should have access to our user's phone number through our page parameter. And if you can recall, this confirm OTP custom action returns a boolean of either true or false if the user has been successfully signed in, or has been successfully verified. So for this action output variable name, I'll just name it as is verified. And now we just want to check for our condition. And for this condition, we can check for our action outputs if the user is successfully verified or not. So if the user has been successfully verified, what we want to do is we want to navigate our user to the home page. If not, we can just give the user an informational dialog once more. For the title, it can be wrong PIN, and for the message, it can be please try again with the correct PIN. And one more thing that we can do for user experience is that we could clear the PIN field for the user, so that it's easier for the user to enter a new PIN. So you can search for clear under actions, and we will select this clear text fields / PIN codes action, and we'll select our PIN code over here. And now we can go to the resend OTP action, and we can add an action. And in order to resend our OTP, it's fairly simple. We will just call our sign up with phone custom action once more. We have to pass some arguments over here. Firstly is the phone argument, so it will be under our page parameter, the phone number page parameter. But we also have to pass our password and confirm password fields, which we do not have access to in this verify page just yet. So to do that, we have to go to our page parameters once more, and we have to add our password as well as our confirm password parameters. So both of these will be of type string. You can click on confirm, and we have to go back to our register page, and inside the navigate to action, we have to pass both of those parameters. Now going back into our verify page, we can now pass these parameters through our page parameter. Now the next step is to configure our Supabase project. So we can move over to our Supabase project, and we'll go all the way to authentication over here. And we have to enable our phone provider so that we are able to use a phone number to sign in our users and create new users as well. And now we have to enable our phone provider over here. So you can see that there's a toggle to enable our phone provider, so just enable that. And for this video, we'll be using Twilio as our SMS provider. It's one of the most popular SMS provider, and is widely used by many other corporations as well and organizations as well. You can see that we actually need some account keys over here, which are the Twilio account SID, Twilio auth token, as well as the Twilio message service SID. So in order to implement Twilio as your SMS provider, you actually need to go to twilio.com and create an account. And once you have created your account, you should be brought to this page over here, this dashboard over here. We can go to verify and we can go to try it out. And if it's your first time creating an account, there's actually a button over here which you are able to click, and Twilio will give you a free phone number which you can use immediately without any subscription at all. So once you have access to that phone number, you can scroll down over here and you can see your account info all over here. And you can see that now we have our account SID, auth token, as well as the phone number that you should have gotten for free. So now we can copy and paste all of these into Supabase over here. And for the Twilio message service SID, that will just be the phone number that you got. We also want to make sure that this enable phone confirmations toggle is on, since we want to verify our user's phone number. Now we can click on save. And that's it, we have successfully updated and enabled phone provider in Supabase. So now we can actually go and test our project out. Alright, so Testman has just loaded up, and let's try creating a new user using a phone number. So note that this phone number has to be in E.164 format, which is a plus sign followed by the country code and followed by the subscriber number including area code. So you can see some examples over here, and you can also search it up more for the E.164 format if you're unsure. So you enter your own phone number, make sure that it's a phone number that you have access to, and we'll just give it a password. Let's try using passwords that do not match first. And you can see that it does prompt the user that there was an error as the passwords do not match. Now let's try entering the correct confirm password. And let's try creating an account. And you can see that we are now brought to the verify phone number page. If we go back to our Supabase dashboard, and under our users table, we can actually see that our account has been created, but it's just waiting for verification. And what happens if we reload the app and actually try to sign in without verifying our account just yet? So let's try testing it out and see what happens. So if I try to sign in with my same phone number as well as the same password, you can see that it successfully prompts the user that the phone number was not confirmed. Now what happens if we try to sign up once more with the same account? You can see that it just brings us to the verify our phone number page again, but it does not create another user in our Supabase users table. And now you can input that token into this pin field over here. So for my code is 766770. Let's try inputting the wrong pin. And you can see that it does prompt us. So great, it prompts us that it's the wrong pin and we can try again. Let's try with the correct pin this time. Confirm OTP. And that's strange. It says that it's the wrong pin. If we open the inspector over here, you can see that it prompts us that the token has expired or is invalid. So what we can try doing is we can try resending our OTP again. So let's try putting this OTP, and you can see that we have successfully signed in. And if you go over to your Supabase dashboard under the users table, you see that we are no longer awaiting verification. Let's see what happens if we try to sign in now that we have verified our phone number. And now we are also able to sign in. That is great. Alright, so that's great. Now you know how to implement phone verification in Supabase with FlutterFlow using Twilio. If you're interested in learning how to do the same thing but with email verification instead, do check out this video over here. You don't want to miss it. Alright, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.